Hello, I'm here to guide you through the process of filing for a protective order. Keep in mind that the protective order process can be a dangerous time for victims of domestic violence. Be extra cautious and watchful. Find help at mdcourts.gov/DV. Let's get started. In this video, we'll talk about the forms you have to fill out when filing for a protective order. We'll discuss how to keep your address private on court documents and where to file papers. Finally, we'll share helpful resources to keep you safe. Before you request a protective order, be certain that you and the other person are in a qualifying relationship. Watch part 1 of the series for information on qualifying relationships. Now, let's take a look at some of the forms. The form you need is a petition for protection from domestic violence. Search online for form CC-DC-DV-001. You may also ask a court clerk for the form. On that form, the person who wants protection is the petitioner. The other person, or the alleged abuser, is called the respondent. The form has space for you to describe the abuse. Be specific and detailed, and include information about the respondent's access to firearms. You will also have to complete a form called the Addendum, Description of Respondent. This is form CC-DC-DV-001A. Law enforcement uses this form when serving paperwork on the other person or the respondent. You may have concerns about making your address known. When you file court documents to open a case, the court requires law enforcement to provide copies of those documents, which include your contact information, to the other person. If safety is a concern and disclosing your address puts you at risk of further harm, ask the court to keep your contact information private. Use the form called Request to Withhold Address. This is form CC-DC-PO026. There is also a more permanent way to keep your address private on all documents called Safe at Home. Learn more at mdcourts.gov/addressprivacy. Once you complete your forms, it's time to file them with the court. You may file a protective order petition if you live in Maryland or if the abuse happened in Maryland. File your papers in a courthouse. If you have a current custody or divorce case with the other person, consider filing in the same courthouse where that case was heard. Courts are open from 8:30 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. most weekdays. If courts are closed, find a district court commissioner's office. Keep in mind, a commissioner's office only accepts protective order petitions when courts are closed. If you filed your papers in court, you will have an immediate hearing. If you filed your papers in a commissioner's office, you will have a hearing in court a couple of days later. You will also return for a final court hearing. Watch part 5 of this series for information on those hearings. Let me repeat something I said earlier. The protective order process can be the most dangerous time for a victim of domestic violence. Be extra watchful. If you need it, get help. Every Maryland county has at least one organization to assist victims of domestic violence. Help may include a free lawyer, safety planning, connections to housing, counseling, and more. Find a list plus other resources at mdcourts.gov/DV. Free legal help is also available at the Maryland Court Help Center, which is open from 8:30 a.m. to 8 p.m. most weekdays. These lawyers can't represent you in court, but they can help you represent yourself or refer you to places for further help. You can call 410-260-1392. The form you need is called a Petition for Protection from Domestic Violence, or CC-DC-DV-001. Find information on keeping contact information private on your forms at mdcourts.gov/addressprivacy. File your papers at a Maryland courthouse. If the courts are closed, find a district court commissioner's office. And remember, help is available in every county. Keeping people safe from domestic violence is important. If you are a victim, you are not alone. Reach out. Find help at mdcourts.gov/DV.